Porsche just made the best car in the world. This issue is sponsored by the latest Duck & Wild magazine, issue 21. See the link below. Porsche just gave themselves the ultimate 60th anniversary birthday present. The Porsche 911 has been at the pinnacle of involved driving since it was introduced in 1963, and now 60 years later Porsche has made the best driver's car ever. Andreas Prunja says the 911 ST is our 60th anniversary birthday present which we make for ourselves to celebrate the 911. He says that the 911 ST is complete with all the 911 elements which it had to have, like lightweight construction, agility, involvement, and the seat of the pants driving feel. The driving for the sake of driving, to use this car instead of a motorcycle on a Sunday morning. All this put together is the 911 ST. These elements have featured in 911s over the years, but in the ST, Porsche wanted to ramp it up to the max. With this car, the 60th birthday of the 911. This isn't just a 911 GT3 Touring with a manual. It definitely looks like one, and that's what we intended, but there's so much more to this car. Obviously, historically, with the 911 ST, people brought their 911S to Porsche Motorsport back in the 70s. At that point, it was the lightest factory model. It had the big motor. They threw some even lighter T-parts at it and added a dash of motorsport. The converted vehicles had hard, chrome-coated cylinders, special heads with 2 plugs per chamber, a Morelli twin-plug distributor, camshafts from a Carrera 6, and Weber carburetors. The 911 ST of the past was built for racing and privateers. There's quite a similarity here, because what better base car could you use as a base platform than a GT3 Touring?
So take the GT3 Touring, which is developed and born in Porsche Motorsport anyways, throw RS parts at it, add some bespoke lightweight parts that fit this purity, lightweight and involvement chapter and idea. This is the result.
What's unique about this model is the standard fitment of magnesium lightweight wheels. On the front axle they're 20-inch and on the rear axle 21-inch. For the absolute driving pleasure and great responsiveness, the 911 ST has a lightweight clutch with a single mass flywheel, which is 10.8 kilograms lighter than the one in a GT3 Touring with a manual transmission. We've taken the engine from the GT3 RS.
It's a 4-liter flat 6-cylinder engine, normally aspirated. It has 525 horsepower, so that's 15 more than on a GT3. How did we do that? Different camshafts, different setup. The camshaft has higher overlap, creating more ferocity and revving up dynamics, more power at high RPMs, which is a 9,000 RPM red line.
On country roads, the 911 ST reaches new levels of performance unseen in the 992 generation. It's got double wishbone front and multi-link rear. The rear axle steering has been dispensed with, and it doesn't affect the driving and handling of the car. 3.7 seconds, 0 to 100, and a top speed of 300 kilometers an hour. The inlets at the front and the nostrils are that of the GT3, and the front wheel arch ventilation is from the GT3 RS. If we go to the rear, you can see the very pronounced diffuser, and the 911 ST has a full-length spoiler with a gurney lip. The spoiler extends at 130 kilometers an hour and retracts at 105 kilometers an hour. The lightweight construction carries into the interior of the 911 ST. This special model comes with full bucket seats in carbon fiber with a discrete pinstripe inset. Also carbon fiber are the pull handles taken from the GT3 RS's Weissite package. A particularly nice detail are the green elements in the rev counter and the sport chrome package. This is more than just big horsepower, big grip. This is many parts working together. Prunja says making all the elements work seamlessly together is the biggest task. How to make 11,000 parts on the car feel like one part. He says, if you ask me what's my favorite part of this new car, it's the car itself. Because all the components we changed, all the tweaking we did, all the development that went into the car leads to every component in perfect synchronicity with its partner. Everything here has been fine-tuned, making involvement the focus. I didn't want to have a car that was all fun, driving at 100 miles an hour. This car, it needs to be fun from the get-go, and therefore it needs to be light and very responsive, communicative. So we have to address the steering feel, we have to address the sound, the immediacy, how the car reacts to the throttle, how the engine reacts, the dampers. We need to know exactly what the car is going to be doing next, in the next split second. Only then do you have full control of the car. We've raised the communication stakes, the feedback, up to 100%. So as a driver, you feel as an integral part of the machine, just like any component on the car. And that's exactly what this car does. We didn't focus too much on racetrack capability. This is a car for the street, a car for the road, and it's set up to have fun in a street legal situation. To drive this car, it combines all the good old 911 vibes. When driving it, you must concentrate on your driving, listening to the car. You have to grow into the car. I don't want to say it's hard to drive, Prunya says, but you have to concentrate in doing so. And I think this is what makes it stand out. This is what people want. They want to be involved in the driving. They don't want to be bored driving a car. Prunya says there's so many fast cars in the world that are not entertaining to drive. If what's most important to you is the driving, the involvement, the old school noises, the interaction with the machine, like a clutch and a gear shift, and being able to coordinate all these things, and having the satisfaction of being able to do so, this is something only a car like this, at the moment, can offer. And we at Porsche are quite happy we can still put a car like this on the market. I'm very fortunate that I'm on the side of making a car like this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I think my whole team, we know a little bit about making this type of car. Andreas Prunya says this might be the pinnacle of what we've done so far when it comes to driving involvement and the feeling that you don't want to get out of the car once you're done. This is not an A to B car unless your A to B is going in big circles, in a spiritual run, because you don't want to get out of this type of car. For me, it's really like that. For me, when I have a good drive, I get out and I'm tempted to pat the car on the roof because it did such a great job. And I want to turn around and admire it again. This is all part of the recipe of the car to be my favorite 911. The 911 ST in relation to the 991 911R, this is an R on steroids. I would say, to be honest, we didn't want to make a new R because that would make the previous R the old R, and I didn't want any old R's getting around in the road. The R is the R, and this is the ST. They have a similar recipe in the strategy to strip it from everything that you don't need to concentrate on to drive. I was asked, do I think this is the ultimate 911? And my reply to this is I don't think this is the ultimate 911. I know it is. If you love this content, please like and subscribe. If you like Instagram and some amazing photography, check us out on Instagram. We are a magazine, premium art style magazine on the wall of Porsche. New and old, fast and fun, all Porsche cars, and the crazy people that look after them. I'm Lee from Duck and Whale. We'll see you next time.